The woman my husband was cheating with saved my life. She did it with one text message, sent at exactly 11 minutes past 4 in the morning from an unknown number. Just 6 words. Are you alone in the house? To understand why this changed everything, you must understand who I was. I was 34, organized, cautious, and raised to double-check every lock. I lived a life of spreadsheets and safety, never imagining that the greatest danger was sleeping right beside me. That single message shattered the silence of my bedroom, a digital flare sent from the darkness to warn me of a storm I couldn't yet see. Everyone I knew described my husband, Adam, as the perfect man. We met in a supermarket parking lot when my grocery bag split and eggs shattered across the wet pavement. He was quick, charming, and perfectly timed with a joke. I thought it was fate. I know now it was a rehearsal. He was there because he knew my routine. He was there because he had been waiting, watching, and learning the rhythm of my life. We married a year later. He was the man who sat with me for 11 hours in a hospital corridor when my father passed away, never checking his phone once. I see those hours differently now. He wasn't comforting me. He was waiting for the right moment to secure his place in my world. The first sign of rot was small, a phone charger in his work bag that didn't fit any of our devices. Then came the mileage on his car, which defied his reported work trips. Then a receipt for a hotel in a town he never mentioned. I collected these fragments and hid them from myself, choosing the comfort of denial over the cold reality of betrayal. I told myself I was being paranoid, that perfect men didn't have secrets. But the fragments grew into a mountain I could no longer ignore. When I replied to that mysterious text, asking who it was, the truth finally arrived. My name is Claire. I have been seeing your husband for 14 months. I am not messaging to hurt you. I am messaging because I found something and I do not think you are safe. We met at a motorway cafe. Claire was not the glamorous villain I expected. She was a tired, trembling woman with red eyes. She had been led to believe I was dying, that Adam was trapped in a loveless, terminal marriage. Then she placed a phone on the table. She had found a box in the back of his wardrobe. Inside were dozens of photographs of me taken weeks before we ever met. There were printouts of my father's obituary. There was a life insurance policy in my name, dated 11 days before he ever spoke to me, forged with my own handwriting. And then there was the name Ruth, a newspaper clipping from 3 years prior. A house fire. A husband who gave a statement outside a church, devastated by his loss. The man in the grainy photo was Adam. I went home that evening and finally looked at my life through a lens of terror. The smoke alarms were disabled. The back door lock had been tampered with. A flammable accelerant sat in the shed, purchased by someone who was not me. I realized I was standing in a house that someone had finished planning to destroy. My home was no longer a sanctuary. It was a tinderbox, and my husband held the match. I did not confront him. I packed one bag and left. Claire did what she didn't have to do. She went to the police, destroying her own reputation to expose him. They arrested him 9 days later. The case continues, and I still wake up at exactly 11 minutes past 4 every morning, my heart hammering against my ribs. But the true terror is not what happened to me. In that box, there were not just 2 folders, there were 4. Mine was only the 3rd. Somewhere tonight, a woman is being watched in a parking lot. She is about to meet a man who will seem like the luckiest encounter of her life. She will think It is fate. She has no idea that the clock is already ticking and the fourth folder is being filled.